out of paper assets and into a physical gold IRA. And the only company I recommend for gold IRAs is conservative-owned Birch Gold Group. To learn more, text the word HEDGE to 989898 to get their free info kit on gold IRAs. Do this now before Democrats have a chance to legislate away your life savings. Get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting HEDGE to the number 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. So use your agency. Take action now. Text the word HEDGE to the number 989898.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
If it touches your family, your schools, your city, or your safety, News Talk WSIC has it covered.
Grub Ferry Road near the intersection at Hollywood Drive will be closed while...
News Talk WSIC.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Scoreboard with me, your host, Joe Berg. And like I said on Monday, I'm going to be here every day, Monday through Friday. What is it, 6 o'clock? It's 6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, because I know everybody that lives up here in Statesville needs to get home safe on their drive time. We're gonna get you home safe today. So thanks for tuning in today. Like I said, this is the Scoreboard. We'll be here every single day, Monday through Friday, except for yesterday. Yesterday was the 4th of July, and it's kind of sad because I would have loved to come on here the day of the 4th of July and talked about Joey Chestnut and how awesome he is at eating as many hot dogs as humanly possible. It's disgusting, and I'm jealous. And it's amazing. I don't know if anybody watched this because I guess it used to be really big, but it's still televised. So it was raining, right? It was raining. There was lightning. They were going to cancel the entire Nathan's hot dog eating contest. And Joey Chestnut, the legend that he is, goes around Coney Island and says, you know what? We are doing this. He gets everybody gathered back around. He said, we're doing this. Let's do it. And they did it. And then he won. And it wasn't even close either. I mean, he ate like 62, 63 hot dogs. And the next closest person didn't even hit 50. When do we end the hot dog eating contest? It's not a contest anymore. Maybe we have to ban Joey Chestnut. Let him do his own thing. You know, maybe in the corner, just kind of like as not an official competitor, but he's like the baseline, you know, like he's in the corner eating, and if you're behind, if you can't beat Chestnut, you're not going to win. But I don't know. I just feel like it could be a little better done, but I hope everybody's doing good today. The phone number to call in, 704-873-1400. We got things to talk about today. I mean, there's not a ton going on in the world of sports. Drafts, off seasons. I mean, baseball is in full swing. It's weird though, being in North Carolina. I would assume that the local team is the Braves, but I don't know. Atlanta is 2 states over, so who really knows what's up with that? But baseball is in full swing. Braves leading their division, and it's going to be an interesting season because, look, I mean, baseball, if we haven't already known, I know this is a new show, maybe you haven't gotten the update yet, but baseball at the beginning of the year, well, in the offseason, implemented new rules for the beginning of this year, and it was drastic rules. I mean, they changed the size of the bases. They changed how long a pitcher can wait before he throws a pitch. They changed everything about baseball, and it's been working for the most part. So runs are up, hits are up, batting average is up, which apparently doesn't matter anymore, but I still think it's probably one of the most important baseball stats besides on base percentage, because if you're not on base, unless you're hitting a home run every time up, you're not scoring. So baseball made the bases bigger. They changed the way the pitcher can approach the plate. They said that the batter has to be in the box by a certain time. And I mean, if you watched spring training this year, there were a lot of violations when it came to taking too much time to get back in the box, taking too much time to pitch the ball, but it's an interesting year so far. I like it. I think that the changes that baseball has made, it's made baseball more watchable on TV. And I've always said that if you're going to watch a baseball game, it's 100 times better to be there and, smell the field, hear the crowd, go get a hot dog. Unless you watch the hot dog eating contest, then you probably don't want a hot dog. But baseball invented the hot dog, so if you don't eat a hot dog while you're at a baseball game, are you really a true American? That's the question here. But no, baseball is in a great spot right now. I think it's going to be interesting for the rest of the year to see what teams are going to fade out, because if you look at the standings compared to last year at this exact time, Cincinnati was not a good team. Atlanta, obviously, they were a good team. The Texas Rangers, when was the last time anybody talked about the Texas Rangers being good? The last time I remember the Texas Rangers being good is they lost the World Series. That was a time. I forget who their manager was back then, but he was animated in the dugout. Maybe somebody knows. If you know who the manager was, who I'm talking about, give us a call. 704-873-1400. I'd love to talk to somebody. We didn't get a call on our first show. That was upsetting. I am disappointed. No, I'm not disappointed in the community. I can't say that. Back to baseball, because, we got to talk about baseball here. Cincinnati Reds leading their division. Who would have thought? Texas Rangers leading their division. Who would have thought? The Baltimore Orioles. If the MLB season ended today, the Baltimore Orioles would be in the playoffs. I'm going to say that one more time because I don't think it really hit the way it's supposed to. If the season ended today, the Baltimore Orioles would be playing in Major League Baseball playoff games. Wow. And it's good for the city of Baltimore, I guess, but I didn't see this coming. And they're just calling up their top prospect by the name of Colton Cowser. He's an outfielder, and the Orioles are looking on the up and up. So that's something that you don't see every day, obviously, the Orioles being good. I can't believe that baseball has such ups and downs. You know what I mean? Like, if you look year to year with baseball, so think back a few years ago when the Kansas City Royals were good. They had 2 great years. And then all of a sudden, they fell off the face of the earth, and they are what they are now. Look at the Athletics. They seem to be up and down every single year. One year, they're really good. One year, they're really bad. Now they have all kinds of problems, but, that's for another time. But it's just interesting to me to see how fast in baseball specifically, because you really don't see it too much in other sports. I guess because there's 162 baseball games in a year. It's interesting to see how much different it is from one year to another. The standings, who's playing good. Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs last year. He's not even playing this year. He's hurt. And Shohei Ohtani, who we will talk about when we come back, because there's a little bit of baseball news I want to get to. Shohei Ohtani has a chance to beat the all-time AL home run record this year, but we'll talk more about that when we get back. This is The Scoreboard. I am Joe Berg. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the other side of the break.
Serving you better than ever before. The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. News Talk Now.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Lights, Camera, Birkdale. At 7:30 this Saturday evening, celebrate Christmas in July at Birkdale by watching The Grinch. It's a 2018 animated version. Bring the whole family out this weekend to Birkdale and Huntersville for movie night. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Iredell County Public Library's Toddler Storytime is happening Thursday, July 6th from 10 to 10:30 in the morning. The focus is for children ages 18 to 36 months. Registration is required. To register online, visit iredale.lib.nc.us. That's the Iredale County Library website. Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius has released their upcoming fall schedule. Some of the acts include comedian Jeff Allen and the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. For the full schedule, visit them online at canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. 2023 is the year of the trail. Cornelius is challenging community members to visit all 9 greenways between now and the fall. Each trail has a station where you can check in to verify you have visited each of the trails. Visit all 9 and you will receive a swag bag from the town of Cornelius. To find out more, visit cornelius.org or contact the town of Cornelius's Parks and Rec Department. The Huntersville Growers Market is open each Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. The Huntersville Growers Market is hosted at Veterans Park in downtown Huntersville. Want to be a vendor at the Huntersville Growers Market? Visit huntersville.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Here's your latest forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. A slight chance of showers through Monday as we head into the evening hours. Mostly cloudy with a low around 70. Sunshine returns for tomorrow with a high near 89. Thursday night's low around 71. Then more sun Friday with a high near 91. Mostly cloudy Friday night with a low around 70. For your Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 88. Then mostly cloudy Saturday night, the low 71.
WSIC Sports Director Joe Berg here. NASCAR Cup Series races are back on WSIC. Catch every race of the season right here on your home for NASCAR, News Talk WSIC.
Check out WSIC's new website at WSICnews.com.
Join John and Jeff on Those Weekend Golf Guys show for golf tips, equipment, and how to improve your game. Sunday afternoon at 4, here on News Talk 105.9, 100.7, WSIC.
What is going on, everyone? We are back here on the Scoreboard. News Talk WSIC. Your home for local, regional, and national sports for that matter. We talk about everything here. If you'd like to call, I'd love to talk to somebody. That's what makes sports great. Debate, banter, not agreeing. 704-873-1400. Before we went to break, I was talking about the MLB and all the new rules that they have this year. One thing that I didn't touch on just yet that I do want to talk about is not only the All-Star game, but some of the players that'll be in the All-Star game, specifically the Angels. If you've been following baseball, you know what's up with the Angels. So the Angels have a player on their team by the name of Shohei Ohtani. If you don't know Shohei Ohtani, you're missing out. Shohei Ohtani is a pitcher, a hitter, and he's all around the best player in the game right now. The problem is his contract expires at the end of the year. Will he be a free agent? Will the Angels re-sign him? I don't know. And it's weird because the Angels, they haven't been good in a while. And they already have Mike Trout, who has been regarded as one of, if not, the best player in the game for the past 10 years. Guy's played in 3 playoff games in 10 years. Now they get Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout. And they're not even up there in the standings. I mean, they can't lead their division. They're 4 games back in the wild card. Here's the thing. Both of these players just got hurt. And it's going to be interesting. Now, Ohtani's not hurt. He's probably out for like a week or 2. He's going to miss the All-Star game, though, which is an absolute tragedy for the MLB not to have Shohei Ohtani in the All-Star game. But the biggest issue is that Mike Trout He fractured I don't even know what bone it is, the hamate bone in his wrist. He's going to miss a month or two, 1 to 2 months. And when you look at where the Angels sit currently in the standings, I mean, they're having a good year. They're 2 games above 500. They're 7 games back of the Rangers with Houston in between them. And they're only 4 games back in the wild card. The problem is they don't have anybody else. This is a team that kind of, hasn't done much to help their star players. And if their star players aren't playing, guess who's not doing good? The Angels. They've lost 10 of their last 14 games. They can't figure out if they want to re-sign Ohtani. And here's the thing. The trade deadline is approaching. It's coming. I mean, whether you like it or not, if you're the Angels, the MLB trade deadline is coming. And if you're not able to re-sign Shohei Ohtani, why are you not going to trade him? You're going to let the greatest player I'm going to say it, he's the greatest player in MLB history. He's better than all of them right now. He had the best month of June ever. He hit like 20-something home runs. It was insane. If you're the Angels, how do you not trade Ohtani at the deadline? If you know that you're not going to make the playoffs this year. Now, if you're going to make the playoffs this year, go for it. Why not? You're going to make the playoffs. Who knows what happens? Once you're in the dance, who knows what's going on? But you look at what the Angels did, and they gave Mike Trout that big deal. He's never seen playoff baseball. They have Shohei Ohtani. If you're Shohei Ohtani, do you even want to resign? The Angels drafted only pitchers last year because it was a bad part of their team was their pitching core. Expecting for this year, everything's going to be fixed. We drafted all pitchers. One of them's got to show. That's not how it works in baseball. And I can't think of a more irresponsible thing to do as a GM than only draft wide receivers. That's like if in the NFL draft, let's say the Panthers were like, you know what? We have 7 picks in this year's draft, 1 in every round. What we're going to do is we are only going to draft left tackles. That's it. We're going to have 7 left tackles on the roster. Irresponsible. Not smart. That's basically what the Angels did. I mean, I know you can't really call a pitcher an offensive lineman. It's different. But you drafted one type of player, and it was a pitcher. You didn't get any help with the bats. All you have is Ohtani and Trout, and they're hurt. What are you going to do now? You're on a losing streak. You haven't made the playoffs in forever, and your star player is going to walk. And the reason he's going to walk is because he can get as much money as he wants in New York, in the other LA team. The Mets, I don't know if anybody notices this, but the Mets have an owner who just doesn't care about money and is incredibly rich and spends money. They have one of the highest payrolls in baseball this year. They might have the highest payroll in baseball besides the Dodgers. But it doesn't work. Paying for all of these players doesn't work for the Mets. I mean, they're 39-46. The Mets are not good, and they're spending all this money. If you're a GM, if you're an owner that can afford Ohtani, it's going to make your team better. It doesn't matter how much the roster is going to be costing you anymore. It doesn't matter. There's no salary cap. Now, there's a luxury tax in baseball. You're allowed to go over it. You just, you're penalized other ways. You lose your draft picks, stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Ohtani. I really think that he's going to go to one of these big market teams. I don't think he's going to go to the Mets because they already spend way too much money to be as bad as they are. I would look at the Dodgers because think about the price tag here. We're talking about Ohtani who pitches and he hits every day. And he just had one of the best batting months ever in the history of baseball. How much do you pay a player like that? Because Trout got like $400 million, somewhere around there. We're going to go to a different sport here, but Patrick Mahomes makes $450 million. I think Ohtani is more talented. I think he's more important. Ohtani's worldwide. He's famous everywhere. How much money is Shohei Ohtani going to make? And if the Angels can't afford it, or if he doesn't want to come back, how are you not going to trade this man? It's a shame because we saw this with Trout, man. We saw it with Trout. He did not get playoff time, and he's getting old now. Mike Trout's getting old. He's not getting any younger. Shohei Ohtani's in his mid-20s. How long is it until we're talking about, man, Shohei Ohtani? He was great, but he played for the Angels, and, man, they never went to the playoffs. Not once. I don't want that to happen. I think it's terrible for the game of baseball because what you want, if you're baseball, you need to build on the momentum you have. Remember, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, they had the Field of Dreams game. That was huge. Some of the biggest numbers that the MLB has ever done on TV viewership. Now they changed the rules a little bit. There's more offense, no more shift. The stolen bases are up. Batting average is up. Everything's up. And your most popular players are not on a team that's going to go to the playoffs. And this is happening all over the league. I mean, if you just look at the standings, you can't tell me that Tampa Bay has more stars than the Yankees. You can't tell me that Minnesota has more stars than Cleveland. You can't tell me that Texas has more stars than Houston. It's everywhere in the league. All the stars are getting buried on these bad teams now. I just don't want this to happen with Ohtani. It's really upsetting to see because he is something else. But I don't want to ramble too much about baseball. We're coming up on a break here, and before I don't want to spend too much time on this. I want to go back to Sunday because Sunday was the NASCAR Chicago street track race, and as we remember, Shane Van Gisbergen won that race in his first ever NASCAR start. Now he drives for a team called Triple Eight in Australia. It's a supercar team. And it was reported late yesterday, that if a NASCAR team approached SVG, as we're now dubbing him, Shane Van Gisbergen, SVG, a lot easier. If a NASCAR team were to approach SVG, they would not stand in the way of him signing that contract, even though he is under contract in Australia until the end of the 2024 season. I don't see how he's not coming to NASCAR. He just won his first race. One of these owners is going to say, put him in a car all year. Maybe he goes to Xfinity first, but he won a cup race against the most talented drivers in the U.S. I mean, you got to put him in a car, right? And then you look at who might be on the out. I mean, you don't really have to think too hard to see, well, there's some old guys out there. We already know Kevin Harvick's leaving. I want to know what Denny Hamlin's plans are because he's getting up there in age. And I just feel like with him owning his own team now, he might be one of those guys that he goes to the wayside before he ever wins a championship. And it'd be unfortunate. Some of the most wins ever in NASCAR's history. I think he has over 60 wins. He just never got that championship. He's going to be this generation's Mark Martin. And it's going to be sad. But maybe Shane Van Gisbergen, SVG, takes over his ride. I would bet money that SVG will be in NASCAR next year. But we're going to take a break. We will see you when we're back.
Local North Carolina news now on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. News Talk Now.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive, whatever the season is. Randy Marion service departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
It's always great to have the right tools and supplies when working outside. Little Shavers Woodshop is ready to help. Little Shavers has all your wood, treated lumber, wood fencing, and all the treatment items to keep them looking great. BBG paints and stains, and add in some pine needles and Daddy Pete's mulch and soils, and your landscaping will be the best around. Head on over to Little Shavers, 3301 Salisbury Highway, right in between Statesville, Morrisville, and Moxville. Visit littleshaverswoodshop.com. That's LILShaverswoodshop.com.
If you need home medical equipment, call Lowry Drug in Statesville. We have everything you need in stock, including portable oxygen concentrators, CPAPs, masks, lift chairs, wheelchairs, scooters, hospital beds, supplies, and anything else you need. Get it when you need it. Check out LowryDrug.com or call 704-873-2247. Lowry Drug, your hometown source since 1959, across from Iredell Memorial Hospital. We are worth the drive. Come see us.
For 41 years, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is Johnson's Parts and Supply. Johnson's Parts provides quality auto parts, helping you to get your work done quickly. Your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and on Saturdays from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Closed on Sunday. Johnson's Parts, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store, located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville.
Hey, this is Jeff McNeely. We hope you go out and visit the fine folks at G&M Milling Company in downtown beautiful Lowray, North Carolina. That's 4000 Taylorsville Highway, 704-873-5758. Give them a call or go visit for all your livestock needs, as far as feed or seed or whatever. They'll be glad to help you out. They're really good folks. I've known them for a long, long time. Go visit G&M Milling, 4000 Taylorsville Highway, Lowray, North Carolina.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
Call 844-TAX-LAWS, 844-TAX-LAWS, 844
TAC Representative Jeff McNeely.
He overrode Governor Cooper's veto of our omnibus gun bill, Second Amendment bill.
Taking care of Iredell.
Actually took care of some loopholes, in my opinion.
Monday and Saturday mornings at 11. News Talk WSIC.
Hi, this is Darren Strublow. Join me for my family-friendly show, The Darren Strublow Comedy Show. We'll have some fun and get you set for a great week. Sunday night at 6, right here on News Talk 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
And we are back again here for the second half of the Scoreboard. I'm your host, Joe Berg, and if you would like to call in, phone lines are open. 704-873-1400. Again, 704-873-1400. I'm out in the hallway during the commercial break, and Tim our guy back here. He's our guy. He peeks his head out of the room and says, "I'm so happy I didn't bring any hot dogs for dinner today." I got the whole studio thinking about hot dogs right now, and I'm not going to lie, I kind of want one. But more importantly, I think somebody's playing a prank on me in here because I like it nice and cold in the studio because I move around a lot. So I usually set this thermostat over here to like 74, 70, 73. And I came in after the break, and it's on 78. And I'm like, oh my God, who's trying to make me sweat in this chair? I think somebody's pranking me. I think it might be Justin, to be honest with you, our new owner. Justin, if you're listening, if you're watching, stop pranking me. All right, it's hot in here. I'm trying to cool off. Anyway, let's get back to the sports because that's obviously the most important thing. But for real, I hope nobody's pranking me. So when we went to break, we were talking a little bit about NASCAR and SVG and his possible return. I think that would be fun to have another Australian supercar driver in NASCAR. Remember Marcos Ambrose? What a fun guy. When they had the is it Vegemite? Is that what they eat? On air, and they let all of the announcers try it, and they didn't like it. Oh man, that was classic. But it'll be nice if SVG can get himself a full-time ride. I would love nothing more than that, honestly, because with how many road courses NASCAR goes to now, he might actually put up a fight in the season if he can, drive a track where all you do is turn left. Oh my God, they turn left. Anyway, that's it for NASCAR, though. This weekend, let's preview this weekend, and then we're going to move on. They go to Atlanta. I don't like it. I don't like New Atlanta. They turned it into a super speedway, and it stinks. But they go to Atlanta this weekend. It'll be interesting to see if anybody else can punch their ticket into the playoffs because we're getting close to it. I believe 8 races left before the playoffs start, so be on the lookout for that. And all NASCAR Cup Series events are broadcast right here on News Talk WSIC. MRN, PRN, we got it. We're doing all of it today. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the NHL because it seems like we have a little bit of NHL news to talk about. We had the draft recently. We have free agency. We have some retirements. Patrick Hornquist, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, he retired. But there's a report about the Carolina Hurricanes today. There's a report about the Hurricanes. They have signed, well, it might not be official yet, but they're bringing in Vladimir Tarasenko. Woo! That's a name. That's a name right there. And if they can do it, if they can bring in Tarasenko, who wasn't bad last year, and he's been in trade rumors and whatnot, finally got traded to the Rangers last year, but I love the signing of Tarasenko for not too much money. You get another goal scorer, which in the playoffs for the Hurricanes, the biggest issue has been 2 things. If they get injured, they don't really have a number 1 goal scorer because they're so light on the goal scoring. And what I've been talking about for the past 3-4 years now, they don't have a number 1 goaltender, but that's a conversation for another day because they brought back both of their goalies again, and I just don't get it. Anyway, Tarasenko possibly coming to Carolina, man, that would be awesome because Carolina has the team. They have a good team. They have a great coach. Now they're trading for Tony DeAngelo again. I don't know if anybody saw that. The biggest hothead in the NHL, Tony DeAngelo, is going to be back in Carolina again. So they have a good team. I don't know what it is, though. In the playoffs, they can't win. And I can't contribute it to one thing specifically because when you look back to the last 2 years, it wasn't the goaltending. Last year, it was more or less the injury bug that got them later in the year. But I'm thinking that Tarasenko being on this team now is really going to help boost the production all around because you can now spread the lines around. He doesn't have to play with Aho. He doesn't have to play with Teravainen. You can spread 3, even 4 good lines on that team now and really, really have a solid lineup to where the other team is really just going to be confused on who they want matched up with who. Because if you have a top-tier goal scorer on lines 1, 2, and 3, you have a great team. And I think that's what Carolina is trying to do, but we'll see what happens. That's really all I want to talk about the NHL right now, because it is the offseason, and there's not much going on. I mean, we had the Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup for the first time ever. They waited 6 painful years. I mean, just, oh man, I feel so bad for all of the turmoil that Golden Knights fans went through over those 6 grueling years. Oh, man. And they finally win the cup. But there's nothing going on in the NHL. There's other issues that I really don't feel like talking about, like the fact that they are no longer doing their special jerseys and warm-ups. That includes the camo jerseys for military appreciation. That includes the Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys. That includes the Pride jerseys. They're not doing any of that anymore. They said, you know what? We had a couple of people not want to wear some of these jerseys, and we're just not going to do it anymore. So, that's something that I just don't want to talk about that. We're going to move on because it's sad. It really is sad. NBA Summer League. Does anybody watch the NBA Summer League? I don't think anybody watches the NBA around here to begin with. I mean, the Hornets are, but we have Summer League action. It's going to be really interesting to see what the Hornets do come the beginning of the season. Is Brandon Miller going to be playing a lot of minutes? Is he going to have a bench role? He didn't look good in Summer League action to begin with, that's for sure. But then again, it's early. They're young. We got to remember that basketball players coming out of the draft, it's a lot different than NFL players coming out of the draft, because in the NFL, you're 3 years into your college career. You're 21, 22. Some of these guys are 23 years old. You're ready to go by then. You're ready to go in. In the NBA, it's a little different. If you're not drafted after 1 year in college, you're probably not thought of as a high prospect, because all of these guys that come out of the draft who at least went to college, I'm not talking about overseas or guys who decided to go play in the G League. It really feels like if you're not getting drafted after your first year, you're not going to have much going on. I mean, look at Drew Timme. He didn't even get drafted. He was one of Gonzaga's best players this year. Didn't even get drafted. He's a big man. Can't get drafted. And there's only 2 rounds of the NBA draft, so it's a little bit different than all other drafts, but still, it seems like if you don't have 1 year in college and then you're drafted, you are not that guy. So it'll be interesting to see what the Hornets are able to come up with this year. I just can't wait for the turmoil that we're going to see with them, because with a new owner, a draft pick that's really young, and a team that really isn't that great, with now a guy getting paid a max contract, if it doesn't work, heads are going to turn. People are going to get fired. I mean, the new owner is not going to be happy, which I don't even know. I don't believe that sale has become official yet. I'll have to do a little bit more looking into that, because I remember they said Jordan's going to sell the team. He's going to sell the team. Here's the number. But then I never saw the team has been sold. It's over. Maybe like I said, if anybody wants to talk about this stuff, give us a call. 704-873-1400. We're going to go to a break here. When we come back, we'll have our last segment. We're going to talk a little NFL, because what's a sports show without talking about the NFL? So stay tuned here on News Talk WSIC. This is The Scoreboard with me, Joe Berg, and I'll see you on the other side of the break.
From Statesville to Huntersville, serving you better than ever before. We're keeping you connected. WSIC News Talk Now.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Lights, Camera, Birkdale. At 7:30 this Saturday evening, celebrate Christmas in July at Birkdale by watching The Grinch. It's a 2018 animated version. Bring the whole family out this weekend to Birkdale and Huntersville for movie night. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Iredell County Public Library's Toddler Storytime is happening Thursday, July 6th from 10 to 10:30 in the morning. The focus is for children ages 18 to 36 months. Registration is required. To register online, visit iredale.lib.nc.us. That's the Iredale County Library website. Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius has released their upcoming fall schedule. Some of the acts include comedian Jeff Allen and the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. For the full schedule, visit them online at canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. 2023 is the year of the trail. Cornelius is challenging community members to visit all 9 greenways between now and the fall. Each trail has a station where you can check in to verify you have visited each of the trails. Visit all 9 and you will receive a swag bag from the town of Cornelius. To find out more, visit cornelius.org or contact the town of Cornelius's Parks and Rec Department. The Huntersville Growers Market is open each Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. The Huntersville Growers Market is hosted at Veterans Park in downtown Huntersville. Want to be a vendor at the Huntersville Growers Market? Visit huntersville.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Here's your latest forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. A slight chance of showers through Monday as we head into the evening hours. Mostly cloudy with a low around 70. Sunshine returns for tomorrow with a high near 89. Thursday night's low around 71. Then more sun Friday with a high near 91. Mostly cloudy Friday night with a low around 70. For your Saturday, partly sunny with a high near 88. Then mostly cloudy Saturday night, the low 71.
Hi folks, Pat Shannon inviting you to join me for the Home Ad Show. We help you sell things, buy things, celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and have a lot of fun in the process. Weekday mornings from 9 to 11, here on News Talk WSIC.
Where news lives. News Talk WSIC.
Hi, this is Richard with WSIC News. Check us out on social media. Follow, like, and subscribe to our pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're even on True Social. Just hit that search menu, WSIC News. You'll find us.
We are back for the final segment. Oh, I love this music here. That's some good intro and outro music, I'll tell you that. Scoreboard. This is the Scoreboard with me, Joe Berg, here on News Talk WSIC. Give us a call here in the final segment if you'd like to be a part of the show. 704-873-1400. I take all calls. I haven't seen it light up once. It's a sports show. Nobody's curious, I guess. Nobody wants to argue today. I mean, it is the day after 4th of July, right? Today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. It's the day after 4th of July. Everybody's trying to recover. That's what it is. Nobody really wants to get into any arguments about sports today. Except for the fact that Joey Chestnut is great. We all need to know that. Yes, hot dogs galore tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's what everybody needs to do. Okay, I know we said we were going to talk a little bit about the NFL today, but before I do that, we got to shout out the local soccer team, Charlotte FC, because they play tonight. Yes, 30 minutes after this show. I'm actually pretty sure that it's going to be on the radio station. No, today's the Wednesday game. Charlotte FC plays tonight. They're playing NYCFC in New York. They're not home. They're in New York today. So make sure you tune in to Charlotte FC. They're having an okay year. I mean, up and down, couple of win streaks, couple of losing streaks. It's still semi-early in the year, so hopefully they can get a couple of wins here regularly and shoot up the standings. But make sure you're on the lookout for Charlotte FC today. I'm getting some texts here from a friend, a family friend, about NASCAR and how many times NASCAR has nixed an outsider from a win. So we got a few examples. Let's see. Wally Dallenbach had a yellow thrown when he was about to win at the Glen. Ron Fellows was in the Hall of Fame car, worked it out. Man, Tommy Kendall dumped at Searsport. Boris said leading. I'm going to do another one. Oh, man, remember when Robbie Gordon almost won that race? I think it was with Kevin Harvick in a Busch Series race back then. And NASCAR told Robbie Gordon to go to the back. You're penalized, and he just didn't go to the back. And he dumped whoever the leader was in turn one. NASCAR has a lot of interesting decisions. It's definitely one of those sports where you go, are they changing the rules as they go? But I think it's funny, all the discourse with NASCAR, because NASCAR, it's a known thing. If you're not cheating, you're not trying in NASCAR. You think of all the old NASCAR stories of people putting really, really big fuel tanks in the car, and then they limited the size of the fuel tank, so they put really, really long fuel lines in the car to keep the car fueled up more. And I mean, it's just funny to talk about NASCAR, because you're just watching a bunch of people turn around and make left turns and doing it fast, and people get angry. It's great. I love it. Who doesn't like NASCAR? But let's get to the NFL here before the show ends. I'm just looking at some of the headlines around the league right now, because it's the off season. We're gonna have the Jets on Hard Knocks. That's about like okay, cool. And the funniest story to me so far right now this off season is actually in Buffalo, because what was it, a week ago? There was a report, oh my goodness, Stephon Diggs isn't at minicamp. Oh my goodness, he's not at minicamp. Coach he said, I'm very concerned. McDermott said, I'm very concerned that he's not here. And now, today, at a press conference, Josh Allen says there's no reason to keep talking about it because the entire situation was overblown. I want to know if he was asked about this, or if did he just start talking about it? Because if you want people to stop talking about it, he says there's no reason to continue talking about it. So who's bringing this up? It was over a week ago. It's minicamp. If it was training camp, that'd be an issue. But it's minicamp. So why are we still talking about this? This is huge NFL offseason news right here. Whoo, man, that's how you know we're in the middle of July. Early July, that is. We just started July. There's so many. The amount of funny headlines that we're going to get in the NFL. And I mean, if you look at their social media pages, the NFL is struggling to come up with stuff right now. They posted a video the other day. What if Patrick Mahomes was left-handed? And they just inverted the video. I'm like, what point does this? He's not left-handed. He's a righty. We've seen him complete passes with his left hand. That's all you have to do. But I just think it's funny, the NFL offseason, because if they wanted to, if the NFL really wanted to, they could dominate the sports news cycle 24/7. They can make up a storyline. They can just say one thing, just like this Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen situation. Does it matter? I don't think so. I really don't think it matters. I think it's funny that Sean McDermott said he was very concerned that he wasn't at minicamp. Like, what was the point of that, McDermott? Are you trying to make people scared? Was it just a gut reaction to what was going on? You're like, yes, I'm very concerned that Stephon Diggs is not at minicamp. This is a problem. He's our number one wide receiver. He's been here for a while. He knows the offense, but I'm very concerned that he's not here. And Stephon Diggs has been a top 5 wide receiver for the past 3 years with the Bills. Does he want more money? No. He's like one of the most highest paid players in the league. He just signed a contract 2 years ago. The NFL offseason never fails to impress me, but let's see what happens in week 1, because the Bills play the Jets. And that's going to be fun, because the Jets' new quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, and the Jets are on Hard Knocks. Whew. That's going to be an interesting week 1 with Aaron Rodgers on the Jets now in that New York media. Whew, man, he's going to be fun. That might be the best thing to happen to the NFL, is you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who is just a a media princess, a media sweetheart, as if you will. Now he's in the New York media, and they're not going to take it easy on him. This isn't Green Bay anymore. Well, I have a feeling we're not in Green Bay anymore. No, you are not. Is Aaron Rodgers, is he going to win another Super Bowl with the Jets? Can he? They have a good team. The division's all right. I think it's going to be more likely than you think. Hey, look at that. We got like 3 minutes left in the show, but we do have a caller. We'll take the call. We'll see what's going on. All right. Welcome to the Scoreboard. What's your name and what do you got for me today?
My name's Hayward.
Hey.
And I want to know, since you're talking about the NFL, if you think Saquon Barkley is going to sit out this year.
I would hope not, because, man, it just seems like that's a one-way ticket to being out of the NFL. Who was it a few years ago for the Steelers? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Le'Veon Bell. Remember when Le'Veon Bell sat out for a year, and then he went to the Jets for a year, and then he was out of the NFL? He said that's his biggest regret. And the way that the NFL is right now, if you are a running back, you need to get a contract because you can find a running back in the 7th round of the draft. The Chiefs just proved that. And if I'm Saquon Barkley, I'm on a team where I am the focal point of the offense. Why would you hold out for more money that you're not going to get when you can make your few millions of dollars? You know, $10 million is nothing to sneeze at. You can make $10 million, be the focal point of an offense. I just don't think it's smart, and I don't think he's going to. I think that he'll find a way, the Giants will find a way to get him under contract again and be out there for week 1. But what do you think? You think he's going to stick around, or is he going to sit out the year? I think we lost him. He hung up on me. Oh, my. I was going to ask you a question, man. I don't think Saquon's going to sit out. I don't think he can. I want to know what you think. But thank you for the call nonetheless. We got a couple of minutes left here, so let's talk about what else went on today. Oh, actually, tomorrow. So tomorrow we have the PGA Tour. Where are they at? Are they at the Rocket Mortgage? Yes, they are. They're at the Rocket Mortgage Classic tomorrow. PGA Tour action. You got MLS tonight. So there's sports going on. There's always baseball going on in the middle of the summer. If you don't know anything else, you can count on there being baseball. So we got PGA Tour tomorrow. We got Charlotte FC tonight. This weekend we have NASCAR. There's still sports going on. It's just, middle summer is it's a slower time, but I appreciate everybody who tunes in. Once the seasons, football, basketball, hockey, local sports, once the high schools get back into school, we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about every single day. But thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, my name is Joe Berg. This is the Scoreboard on News Talk WSIC, and we will be here every day from 6 to 7 o'clock. Every day we're going to be talking about sports, so you better get used to it. And if you don't like it, call in. Tell me you don't like it. How would you run this show? I want to know. But thank you again to everybody for listening. This is WSIC, the Scoreboard with Joe Berg. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville.